This is Rob Temple for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted as always to be joined by Eddie Hearn in the immediate aftermath of a wonderful night of boxing here at the O2 Arena. Josh Taylor becomes unified champion against Regis Prograis. Eddie, we'll start at the top, work our way down. That was some fight.
Another fight of the year. I mean, I think every now and again a fight gets made, you think, you sort of run it in your head and think it can only be a brilliant fight. And that's exactly what I thought about this fight. That's why I wanted to make sure we got it. And it was. It lived up to absolutely every bit of hype that it could have done. Another fight of the year contender. Josh Taylor was brilliant. Regis Prograis was brilliant. After 4 rounds, I honestly thought, I'm not sure Josh Taylor can win this fight. And he was brilliant in the sort of middle parts and back end of the fight, and then, well, not back end, but late end of the fight. And then Regis Prograis came back into the fight, cut Josh Taylor horrendously. He couldn't see. I think both guys have gone to hospital. They're fine, but just for precautionary checks. Brilliant fight. Amazing fight.
Where does the winner go from here? Where does Josh Taylor go from here? He's picked up 2 world titles, a Ring Magazine belt, the Ali Trophy, all in 16 fights.
Well, again, you know, he probably should be a bit of a bigger star than he is, but now's the chance for him. You know, he's ended up having this platform to go and become a star now. People were watching in America, people were talking about it, you know, World Boxing Super Series winner. He's got loads of options. You know, he can go back and have a big fight in Scotland, a defence. He can go and fight Lewis Ritson at St James's Park. He can go and try and fight Jose Ramirez in an undisputed fight. So many options. You know, for me, I would like to see him fight Lewis Ritson at St James's Park. I know people will have him as a big favourite in that fight, but when you've got 60,000 Geordies screaming for you, anything can happen. So, again, not my fighter. Love to continue working with him. We'll see what happens. But just a fan, really. Like, you know, we bought the Baranchek fight, the semi-finals, to watch, and we got to promote the final. And he's always in good fights. I remember when he beat O'Hara Davis, and that kicked me right in the nuts. Especially when I was getting absolutely screamed at by 5,000 jocks in Edinburgh. Fuck me, that was brutal that night. So rather be on his team than against him, and a big night for Josh Taylor. And I'm pleased as well for Shane McGuigan. You know, he's done a great job with him. They've sort of done their own thing for a long time, believed in what they were doing, and tonight they did it.
I think general consensus was it was kind of a 7-5. A lot of people had it as a draw.
2 rounds. Yeah.
What did you make of the 117-112 card?
Much too wide. I mean, again, it was all my fault apparently, because I've seen it on my timeline. Just to let everybody know, all 3 judges are neutral officials, no Brits, no Americans. So I'm really sorry that some geezer from Italy. Yeah. In fact, I mean, I guess it's because we got Matchroom Box in Italy, innit? So, you know, much too wide for me. I mean, you can sometimes get overawed by the noise and like, all that sort of stuff, but I had it 2 rounds to Josh Taylor. I thought it was probably 3 up. I think I tweeted saying 3 rounds to go. I think Regis needs a knockout, or 2 rounds to go. Regis needs a knockout. Yeah, I thought Josh did enough. I thought he controlled the majority of the fight. I thought Regis started really well, finished well, but probably just a little bit not enough. And by the way, seemed to accept that. I thought Regis Prograis, by the way, gave a brilliant interview after, where he said the better man won, you know, and he'll be back. He's a great fighter. I just felt that his tank died a little bit, you know, in the back end of the fight. But then again, saying that, he come back and won, you know, the last round and looked strong, and actually looked like if there was another round, Taylor might be in trouble. But it's not really how it works in boxing, because it's only 12 rounds.
Elsewhere on the card, I just said this to Adam Smith, Derek Chisora versus David Price on paper looked like a fun heavyweight fight, and that's what we got.
We've got a really good fight. In fact, if we would have got the fight where there was a clean knockout, everyone would have been talking about what a great fight it was. But actually, everyone was talking about the towel going in, and, you know, should it have gone in, should it not? The truth is I know what they want to see, which is a brutal knockout. And that was exactly what was about to happen. I would rather David Price walk away from there safe, you know, uninjured. And the truth is, he was about to get knocked out badly. He was a sitting duck. You know, he got hurt badly, he stood up, you know, he could have carried on, and the ref let him carry on, but he was about to get knocked out badly. And I'm sorry, I know that they want to see that, but I'm quite happy that it didn't happen. But by the way, I thought he boxed really well. And I thought he hurt Chisora a few times. Chisora hurt him. I thought Chisora is the pain in the arse that he always is in the ring. He's relentless. He's a real problem for any heavyweight. He's a tough fucker, and he don't stop throwing punches. He don't stop working you on the inside. And I want to see him fight Usyk or fight Parker next. I want to do a heavyweight show early next year, all heavyweight fights. And, you know, him against Parker's a big fight, and him against Usyk is a big fight. If Usyk wants a fight in between, which I don't think he does, but if he does, we'll make that fight at the O2. It's a big fight. If he wants to wait for the world title, we can do that, and the Parker fight's there. But, you know, Chisora is a fucking relentless fucker. Stubborn motherfucker. He's supposed to retire years ago. He's getting better. And I thought Price boxed well. I really did.
Can Price come again? I mean, they're both kind of had so many ups and downs.
Because look, he did take it at short notice, so he had a decent prep, probably not the prep he would have wanted. You know, he made a lot of money tonight, can't lie. But again, he boxed well. Like, it wasn't like he was battered, was he? I mean, he hurt Chisora a few times, counter-punched him well on the inside, walked him onto shots. You know, it's up to the big man. He's had a great run, by the way. I mean, he's had late notice fights, he's had Povetkin fights, Kuzmin fights, Dave Allen, he's had this one when his career looked over. So he's really cemented himself financially. I know this is boring for the viewers, but like, he's in a good place, you know. And I think if he would have retired when everybody told him to retire, he wouldn't have been in that place.
Lawrence Coley picked up the European Cruiserweight title. It's another title for him in, 13 fights. What did you make of his performance?
I thought it was good. I mean, everyone's waiting to moan at him. Every time there's a clinch, oh, Lawrence Coley's in a clinch again. Well, let's be honest, it wasn't a Chamberlain or a Matty Askin performance. He stopped and actually battered and won every round against the reigning European champion who's world ranked and he's a good fighter, right? So he's had 13 fights, 14 fights I think now. British, Commonwealth, European champion, ranked number 2 in the WBA, ranked number 4 in the WBO. He was working at McDonald's a few years ago. He was over 300 pounds and he decided to try and become a boxer. He went to the Olympics. Now he's achieved all this. Respect him and know that if you're an impatient fan, which a lot of them are, and you always want fighters to move quickly, when they move quickly, don't moan if they have to use their attributes to get through some sticky situations now and again. Do you know what I mean? He's going to fight for a world title, he's going to win a world title, he's going to move up to heavyweight, he's going to be around for a long time. He's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You ain't got to be everyone's cup of tea. But you know what? He's my cup of tea. And I like the kid, and I think he's a good fighter. I think he can win the world cruiserweight title. And I think he's a fucking hard man to beat.
Ricky Burns versus Lee Selby, kind of battle of two stalwarts of British boxing, really. What did you make of that fight?
It was a good fight, a bit scrappy at times. I mean, it was like relentless from Ricky Burns and clever boxing mainly from Selby. How did you have it?
I had it for Selby.
Yeah, I had it by Selby, thin. And now he'll be looking for a big fight. You know, I think Devin Haney is a fight that he could take in early 2020. Other big fights out there for him, you know, in the States as well. And Luke Campbell, I don't know, you know, I mean, he's going to want the big fights. And you know, I see what Ricky wants to do. I thought Ricky boxed well, but, you know, just a little bit outfoxed by Lee Selby, who does what he does best, which is box and move and, you know, duck and dive and sort of outbox you.
Outbox him?
Outbox you. Is that what I said?
Outbox him.
Yeah, but I was talking about to our German fans that sometimes when you slip inside, you outbox them.
Okay. Eddie, thanks very much for your time. Great night here at the O2. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Shout out to Conor Benn as well. Great performance.
Shout out to Conor Benn, great performance. The reason I didn't talk about it is because I've not watched the fight back, and I don't like talking about fights that I've not seen. Why didn't you tell me what happened? Obviously, I know he won by 4th round stoppage.
He boxed the very experienced, very tough Steve Jamoy, who just beat an 18-0 kid in his last fight. Conor Benn could really live the life of a Billy Big Bollocks. He lives in my village. I see him out with the dog and his missus, living a quiet life, grinding away, working hard, support him, because he's not a flash Harry. You know, he was a bit of a novelty act when he started, hands up, because he had no experience. He's worked so hard with Tony Sims, he's really building into a good 147-pound fighter. He's exciting to watch, he throws great combinations, good shot selection, really, really, really improved fighter.
Shannon Courtney.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes in these 4-round fights with 2 minutes, like the other girl was just relentless. I had it 3-1, which is what the referee had it. Goes 1 round the other way, it's a draw. So she needs to move to 6 rounds now, keep improving. Work in progress. She's a good girl with a good heart, got good support, and she's working away.
Eddie Hearn, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Bye.